Okay, thank you so much for this gathering. Actually don't know where to start from, but I must be sincere that I'm extremely excited to be before you and of course to share one or two things about the project Jagun Jagun. You know, I actually conceived the idea of Jagun Jagun before I produced King of Thieves. All right. I conceived this idea before the production of Ageshikunle. Alright, so I know Jagun Jagun is a bigger project, so I decided to do like a test run with Ageshikunle, filling the pause of the global community and vis-a-vis the way they would accept an indigenous project like a Yoruba movie. So I was shocked with the acceptability of Agashikoli, and that also motivated and provoked the idea and the fact that I have to go on and do something bigger. So, which made me actualize my dream of bringing Jagun Jagun into picture. All right, so Jagun Jagun, my major motive of producing Jagun Jagun was to pass a social message in a cultural way, and of course to showcase the beauty of Yoruba culture to the entire world. So Jagun Jagun is a fiction. It's not an historical event. It's the story I came up with, and it's a satire. Right. So it has nothing to do with any history of Yoruba land, as has happened before. It's the story that I came up with, and it took us almost 6 months to put together the storyline of Jagun Jagun because we were going back and forth. I intentionally paid attention to details because I tried as much as possible to produce a film which is going to be flawless. All right. So I invited members of the industry that are very vast in what they do. Elders. I even invited some novices that in the audience, just to feel the audience perspective when I was putting together the story of Jagun Jagun. So we eventually had a script after about the 6th draft. We're going back and forth, and we went to the location, which it was shot in Oyo town, in Oyo state. And so after the completion of the story, one of the major challenges we had was casting. All right, there are so many beautiful actors that I saw in different roles, but unfortunately the language barrier could not make them come on set. We were even had to take up trainings for some of those cast to be able to speak indigenous Yoruba language. Indigenous Yoruba language is totally different from the one we speak in Lagos. I was born, bred, buttered in Lagos, so the Yorubas we speak in Lagos is me, the Lossy school, me, the law, me, the lecture, and all that. But if you feel the pulse of the Yoruba that we speak in the movie Jagun Jagun, you know that it is more of indigenous language. So okay, so we came up with a cast, and so I put a call through to one of the major cast, which is Latif Adedimeji, and I said to him that I have a project that's going to take about 3 months of your time. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult. And he shouted, 3 months, Egmont. I said, yes. So 2 months is going to be for you to, keep fit, go to gym, and have about 40 days to film. Still going to have about 2 weeks of training. And to him, it sounded so challenging. And he gave his words that he was going to do it. So when we got to location, he started the journey, truly. If you look at Latif in the film, he was very fit, he had muscles, and so many people felt like, is this Latif Adedimeji, so we were fully prepared for the project. Unfortunately, the first scene he was shoot, he broke his leg, and so he felt he was not going to be able to play the role. But looking back from where he started, how he's been preparing for the role, I felt it was going to be very bad for us to say, well, because you've broken your leg, we're probably going to get another actor. And I said to him, you're going to do it. So with the help of body doubles, with the help of other crew members, because we were caught shooting, he has to shoot, we leave him to rest for a while, pick up again, and we delivered. So that was a major thing for me on that set. Okay, so we had quite a number of challenges on the set too. The major one for me was weather. The weather wasn't friendly at the beginning of our preparation to principal photography, So we had constructed, of course we built from the scratch the warrior school, Gunjiji school, we built from the scratch. We were first faced with the challenge of purchasing that land, We wanted to own the land. At the point, we had a nod, we paid. So the children of the owner came back and like, no way, we're not selling. We've gone halfway, like 60% constructed, and the children just came from Lagos, no way, and they were ready to destruct everything we built, So that held off for almost a week, going to police station, going to the Orbas, appealing to them. So until we were made to do an undertaking that we were not going to buy, we were just going to be there for a couple of months to shoot. It was a major challenge. In fact, it was very demoralizing. So eventually we got there, and so we built and we were ready to film. Like 95% completed the construction. Then a heavy rainfall and destroyed everything we built. And of course, we had to start again from the beginning. It was a lot on the art director, and of course it was a lot on my pocket as well. Constructing that kind of edifice you saw in the film, But to God be the glory. Here we are today. All those challenges were we conquered all those challenges, and eventually it is victory. I knew Jagun Jagun would be a blockbuster, but I never knew it was going to be as much as this. I got teary when I got a message from Netflix and calling me Mr. Worldwide. I was really touched that could this be a Yoruba film? Doing this. I got several calls from eminent people, from scholars, reviews upon reviews. At the point, I had an automated response of thank you, God bless you, on my phone. It was overwhelming. And at the same time, I became scared. What next? Is it going to be bigger than Jagun Jagun? I was so confident I was going to beat King of Thieves. Like I told you, I had this idea of Jagun before King of Thieves, so I was confident that I was going to beat King of Thieves. But now I don't know. I have to beat Jagun Jagun, and that's more of the nightmare I've been having since the release of Jagun Jagun. But I believe in God. It can only get better. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's a very wonderful speech that has facts, emotions, and more in it. So thank you for blessing us with Jagun Jagun. So over to us. Let's have questions from members of the community.
My name is Zoe Damola from Hillary Road. My question is, this is like a groundbreaking project. What was the inspiration behind this? What inspired you to tell this story?
Okay, so what inspired the story of Jagun Jagun is simply the youth and the environment of Nigeria. I'll still tell you categorically that I'm a youth in Nigeria, and I felt the pulse of what's happening between the youth and the government, you know. So I felt, okay, I should pass a message. I was seeing it from a different perspective. I was seeing it that we youth have a lot to do. We have a major role to play in the society. So I was seeing it from that perspective, and I wanted to pass that message in an extremely unique way, you know, and doubling the fact that I want to showcase the beauty of Yoruba culture to the world. So that's what actually inspired the storyline of Jagun Jagun. You know, I had a social message to pass across to the youth, and I intended to do it in a cultural way.